Hello everybody and welcome to Gleipnir episode 3 anime review. It just keeps getting weirder, this show. Like I actually think it's alright, you know. I've seen some low ratings and stuff for it. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just really weird and strange. That's where I'm at the moment. It's still am I the weird one for enjoying this? Maybe. But I think it's quite alright, to be honest. But yeah, this episode we had more nudity, which I'm just used to. And I'm just okay. That's going to be a thing. She's going to get naked any chance she gets. All right, fair enough. We had school swimsuits, which you notice these are the first few things I'm mentioning. Clearly, I've got my priorities in order. But no, also we found her sister, but actually maybe not. Like I'm confused as to if it's actually her sister or if it's just a lookalike who is unconnected to her. I'm wondering, like, her hair grew longer and shorter, so maybe it was like a, I mean, no, she is the one that killed her parents, at least. I think that's where we're definitely at. But, you know what? Let's just jump into the episode. We'll talk about it as we get to it. That's probably a better way of doing it. As far as I know, we haven't been delayed yet. You know, like how everything's going on at the moment. Everything's getting delayed. It hasn't happened for this yet, so that's good. Anyway, let's jump in to this week's episode, see what went down and everything, and do this thing. Pretty interesting first scene. So that guy who comes out of the vending machine, I guess, he's got a coin, he's got a phone. The coin doesn't show up on the phone. He's like, a camera doesn't show up. The coin doesn't show up on the phone camera. And then he starts talking about humans and how they'll take care of the coins. So my only explanation is he's some kind of god alien who can give people magic powers, beast powers, in exchange for coins. It's like, hey, you give me the coins, I'll give you a wish, like a genie type thing. And he's some kind of god alien, sort of like a Cube, a little bit. That's my headcanon, I guess, for what this guy is. Yeah, not too. I hope we get that explained. But I would, if I'm leaning towards, we're probably not going to get that explained. That's a hey, go read the manga if you want that explained kind of thing. I would imagine. Shuichi's hanging out with Claire again in her apartment. It's still filthy and everything. They talk for a bit and then she starts taking her clothes off because they're going to practice combining. I'm trying to think of a way to say it that's not lewd, but I think that's the whole point at this point, is to, you know, make it like a sex thing. But yeah, so she gets proper naked. He's like, absolutely not. There is no way I'm letting you inside me without any clothes on. Which, again, phrasing. So he's like, put on a school swimsuit instead. And she's like, that's a weird fetish. And I'm like, pretty ordinary fetish, to be honest. For him, anyway, you know. In terms of, like, fetish weirdness, I think it's not that weird, all things considered. That's below feet, I think. But that's just my opinion. Who knows? This is the fetish podcast where we discuss people's fetishes. No, it's not. It's actually an anime review. Let's get back to it, shall we? She gets inside him. It's still weird. It's still weird, by the way. Her foot goes through his chest again, like before. It's a weird thing to focus on, but whatevs. So she's got more. He can still move himself, but she has got more control, I guess. So she chooses. She can take full control, like in the fight last week against that woman. So I guess to be more efficient, they decide to split it, at least for this bit, because they race to reach a cup. And she tickles him, which in theory should tickle herself as well. Maybe she's just not ticklish, but he is. Also, couldn't she like stop him rolling around if she had full control? So she could tickle. He would still feel it, but he wouldn't roll around. I mean, that would take the fun out of it. I have no idea. I'm throwing things out, you know. It might not be how it works, but it might be. You know, that's just my interpretation of it. Who knows? So back to actual business. He cleans up her room. That's the important part of the business. No, next bit's important. She brings out her sister's school uniform, and because they're gonna use his sense of smell, his Tanjiro smell, to basically, you know, get the scent, and then they're going to figure out who's got, you know, they're going to track her down based off that. It's a good plan. You know, police dogs do it and stuff. He's basically a police dog. She also calls him a doggy at some point, or the former doggy. yeah, they sniff it. It's a proper smell of death. Like, briefly they were like, oh, maybe she didn't kill the parents, and they're like, okay, no, she definitely killed a lot of people. So yeah, there's that. Sister, your redemption has been cut short for now, I guess. They go shopping for stuff from the stakeout and just hang out like a regular couple. We'll call them a couple. Sure, that's what we'll call them. Then she thinks he's kind of cool for agreeing to help her out, even though he basically he's terrified because that's a lot of death he smelt, you know. Which fair enough, and that is pretty cool. And then they talk her a bit. He's going to ask the sister why. No, she wants to ask the sister why she became a monster. The sister that is and killed her parents and everything. He wants to know if it's a lead to why he became a monster. They just sit together and talk about their families and stuff, their backstories. So basically, this is the bit where they're like, we should probably get to know each other better if we're going to be working together. So let's do that. While they're doing that, that other girl is sitting in the car and she sees them. And it's like, huh, there's those two again. The other girl from his class who, I didn't write down her name, but she'll find a coin at some point. That's what I reckon. I reckon she's going to find a coin and transform into a butterfly. We'll go with a butterfly. I have no idea. Who knows? Yeah, and that was... Let's just get to the stakeout, because steak is good. Unless you're a vegetarian, probably don't like steak then. But I think steak's alright. We don't even get to see the stakeout, not even in montage form. We just go to, like, basically the end of it, and they're like, yeah, this hasn't gone well. They've run out of water. They've ran out of food, probably. They've ran out of soap. I don't know what else they had. So they've ran out of stuff is the gist of it. But they're determined though. They're like, all right, we'll try the mall tomorrow or the weekend, whatever it was. And then while they're like, all right, we're going to track down the person who's killed a lot of people, mass murderer. But then in the middle of that, they're like, you know, let's just go on a date. Let's just go to the cinema and watch a movie, you know. Let's just do that instead. Or the theatre. We say cinema in the UK, in case you didn't know. They're all shut at the moment, those silly kids. Social distancing and all that. I shouldn't keep bringing it up, but whatever. Yeah, they agreed. Go see a movie. Not a horror movie, though, because she's scared of horror movies, despite the fact she shot a person. She climbs inside a fleshy mascot suit. Why would you be scared of a horror movie if you're doing that on a daily basis, you know? Just, whatever, you know, whatever. But then a girl gets off the train, and it's like immediate, like, boom, smell, hasn't washed in a while. Proper smells of death. Yeah, he immediately transforms as like, this is bad. She's near here. And they're like, oh, it's probably a classmate. She takes a look in the camera, and they're like, nope, no, I'm not a classmate, that's my sister. And I'm just like, we're on episode 3, dude. Like, we don't need to go this fast. But no, then he's first he's going to like, I'll do it myself. Because, you know, I don't want to have you shoot your sister or anything. She's like, I can do it. We are one. We are one. We will stand together. But yeah, they go and fight. Or not fight. They plan an ambush. They hide in the bush with the gun in a mascot suit. Amazing that no member of the public saw them, to be honest. Or I guess Claire is in control of the gun at this point. She's going to shoot sister. I think her name is Elena. I think the episode title was called. They never actually said it in the episode, so I'm just going off that. And yeah, she is going to shoot her, but as she's about to shoot her, she starts crying. Shuichi sees this and is like, nah, I'm not going to let you kill your sister. Do too much damage to you mentally. So he like knocks the gun off balance. I guess Claire lost control of the arm momentarily because she was distraught or something. And then, yeah, gun missed. Destroyed the hat, though. It was a nice hat. They should probably pay her back for that. But yeah, then she's all annoyed. She's like, why'd you shoot me? She, like, teleports. Not really teleports, but, like, dissolves and then appears behind him. And is like, why did you do that? You know, and then she's like, oh, I see. And then she turns back to a normal person and is like this shy, demure, like, best girl-ish character. And I'm torn because I'm like, A, you're a mass murderer, but B, you are kind of cute. So like, what do I do here? You know, but you know, later on would make the decision a little easier. But right now it's like, what? And she's like, yeah, you can kill me, but let's go somewhere where there's no one about. And it's like, well, that doesn't sound like a trap at all. Although in this case, it actually wasn't a trap, which is really bizarre, but it sounded like a trap. Yeah, while they're talking, Shuichi reckons, oh, I could probably talk some sense into her. She seems nice and like easy to communicate with. In which case, you know there's a twist coming, other than, you know, she's a mass murderer kind of thing. We already know that, but you know what I'm saying. She knows Claire's inside, because she's like, oh, I see. But then, no, not actually. She knows Shuichi is inside. Doesn't know anything about Claire, despite apparently being her sister, although maybe not being her sister at this point. They haven't really said anything. Claire hasn't filled them in, because when she does say something, I can't remember if she just like grunts or something, they're like, that was a woman's voice. There's a woman inside you, Shuichi. That's not cool. And then she gets all mad and jealous and mellous. I've combined the words mad and jealous. I'm creative like that. Yeah, then she rips off Shuichi's head. Shuichi, what do you call the form? Doggy form? Rips his head off. Yeah. I was making sure I didn't miss anything, but no, that's where we ended the episode. She rips his head off. Shuichi is dead. Claire may be dead as well. I have no idea how they're gonna work it. Like, because logically they're missing a head now, unless Shuichi can just reattach his head, and that would make Claire fine, or maybe she'll just pop out because she's inside the suit. I'm just spitting theory, I guess. I have no idea how it works. We will probably find that out in the next episode. I hesitate to say next week's, because at any time now things get delayed. Whenever the next episode is, I think it's still scheduled for the next week at the moment. But yeah, it's, I'm actually enjoying this show. Like, I think on AniChart, I think it's got like a 53%, which is atrocious. I'm just like, it's not that bad, you know. That's a bad score, and I don't think this is that bad at all. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Like, I've seen a lot worse. I think it's just a bit in a good way. I'm still intrigued in what's going on though, so it's doing its job like well enough. Am I the weird one here? It's a weird show, that's for sure. I said all this at the beginning, but I'm going to repeat myself to further do my point. It's a bit weird, but I think I can deal with weird. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe a lot of people are off put by the weird and all the panty shots, you know. And I can deal with both of those things. So thumbs up to everyone else that's watching as well. Panty shots and weird monsters getting their heads ripped off. That's what we're gonna. I'm wondering if she is actually her sister though. That's the big thing. Like, is she actually the sister? Is it some sort of twin personality type thing? 'Cause it could have been something like that. Will we find out exactly what she was trying to do by turning Shuichi into a monster? I'm assuming it's because she had like a monster crush on him. See what I did there? Very, very creative of me. But no, yeah. Looking forward to finding out exactly what's going on. Anyway, I will see you probably next week for another episode of this. Subscribe and stuff if you're not already for more reviews. There's quite a few of them on the channel, so check it out. I'll be here every week with this, as long as it's still airing, obviously. I will see you whenever for another episode of this. Take care, and bye, guys.